Hi friends, welcome back to Ouroboros Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is looking into what it is that your person felt the last time the two of you saw one another. And the messages and stories that came through were really interesting, so I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not these resonated for you. And I'm curious to read the comments. Yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. I have 4 piles for you guys to choose from today. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's, and I will see you in a minute. Hi pile 1. So today's pick a card reading is looking into what it is that your person felt the last time that they saw you. And the oracle cards here are to give us kind of, or me, a better understanding of what was going on between the two of you the last time you two saw one another. And I think that this will also help you decide whether or not this is actually your pile. And I also have oracles here to kind of look into how your person was seeing you or viewing you the last time the two of you were in contact or saw one another. So let's go ahead and get into it. And for the first part, we have number 22, look within. We have the healer. We have number 44, your dreams are closer than you think. We have space. And we have number 33, ripe fruits. And when it comes to how they were viewing you, we have the hyena, and we have the hero/heroine. The light attribute being passion for a journey of personal empowerment, and the shadow attribute being escapism and a false sense of heroism. Okay, so I feel very strongly as though the two of you, the last time you two saw one another, was after a great deal of time and space had transpired between the two of you. This could have been an event that was unprompted. It could have been an event that was kind of planned, but it seems like the biggest thing that I'm getting is that it seems like there had been a lot of time that had passed since the two of you had seen one another. And in seeing one another again this time around, it feels like, at least for you, there was a realization on your end that you had grown profoundly since the last time the two of you had been in contact. I think that this last interaction between the two of you really held up a mirror to you and gave you a bit of perspective that perhaps you hadn't necessarily seen. And suddenly you realized the leaps and bounds that you had taken from the time that you had last seen this person. And it seems like the changes that were taking place or that have taken place for you are ones that have really aided in your growth. These are positive changes that I'm seeing. And it seems like there was also a realization, like if this was a connection at one point that ended very sourly or was very hurtful, it seems like there was a realization on your end of the fact that you're healed from this, that there wasn't this pain that there had once been in the past. And also I think that there was a realization that the goals that you have set for yourself have either been achieved or are very, very quickly coming your way. I feel like this was a really powerful interaction, and it might not necessarily have been powerful when it comes to the connection that you two shared during this time when you saw one another, but more so it was powerful in the sense of your realizations and your relationship with yourself. Like this was like a huge moment for you is what I'm seeing here. So if that's resonating, let's go ahead and get into how they were viewing you. If that didn't resonate, I would suggest looking for another pile. There also might not be a message in this video for you today, and that's okay too. I do have other videos on the last time you two saw one another, so there might be a video that resonates more for you there, or there just might not be a message here for you today. But when it comes to how they were viewing you, I get the feeling that how you were seeing yourself is almost identical to how they were seeing you. They were seeing you definitely in the light attribute of this hero/heroine, in this passion for a journey of personal empowerment. I think that they were seeing you as somebody who actually did it, if that makes sense. Like perhaps this connection was one that kind of fizzled out or went into a period of separation simply because growth was needed on both of your ends, or maybe this person didn't necessarily align with your hopes, your dreams, your values, your goals. And so perhaps it was you who had kind of walked away from this connection in the past. But it feels like they were looking at you and they were recognizing that you were capable of accomplishing anything that you set your mind to, and that in a lot of ways you did. I think also with this hyena card here, there was definitely an element of them recognizing that there's a certain charm to you. Like, I don't know if you were making jokes or it just seems like you were really comfortable in your own skin. And even if there was like an element of you feeling insecure, they did not pick up on this whatsoever. They saw somebody who was very confident and who had a lot going for them, is what I will say. So that is what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and get tarot and see what comes through for how they were feeling. Come on, little snake. There we go. Someone commented on one of my videos the other day and was like, I don't like that you have a snake, that I feel like the devil drew you to place that there. And no, that's not what happened. My channel's name is Ouroboros, which is a snake eating its own tail, which is symbolic of unity and oneness and being connected to everything and eternity. And snakes themselves are so beautiful and are symbolic of rebirth and renewal and letting go of things that are no longer serving you. And I can see how that would be, that's a scary thing. And I also understand that snakes, there are people who have aversions to snakes, but I think that they're kind of misunderstood, a lot like the Death card or like the Tower card. Something that's feared, but yeah, tangent over. Let's go ahead and look into how they were feeling. How was pile one's person feeling the last time they saw pile one? Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Page of Cups, okay, we have the Queen of Wands. That's too many. How were they feeling the last time they... Okay, and there's the Tower. How was pile one's person feeling the last time they saw pile one? What did they feel? Okay, we have the King of Wands. And let's go ahead and clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here, Spirit? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? We have the Magician. Why is the Page of Cups here? We have Temperance. Why is the Queen of Wands here? We have the Three of Wands. Why is the Tower here? We have the Eight of Cups. And why is the King of Wands here? We have the Emperor. And on the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, I'm going to put this on this side. So what was it that they were feeling the last time you two saw one another? I think that this is interesting. There's two, we have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So this is definitely counterpart energy, a feeling of the two of you really being right for one another. But I sense that this person also kind of felt like they were in their own power. Like I think they saw you as this Queen of Wands, and they were recognizing that you were really stepping into your own, really finding your place in the world, really finding your voice, and really making your mark. With this 3 of Wands, I feel like they felt really almost proud of you, or like in awe of you, and all of the things you were creating and doing for yourself. I think that there was a little bit of shock. So with the Tower here, there definitely could have been this feeling of, like, this could have been for some of you definitely an event where the two of you just ran into each other, like it wasn't planned. So there is an element of like shock and surprise here for some of you. But I think mostly, like, what I'm sensing is that there was also an element of shock coming from how they realized they felt. Like, I think the pain for this person had also disappeared. Like, there's a lot here indicating that this person felt healed or felt a sense of peace for what had transpired in the past between the two of you. And I don't think that they were expecting, I think that they may have been expecting when they saw you to feel this like great deal of pain and heartbreak still. And what they realized was that they too have come a long way. And I think that they also came to a realization that perhaps the space that had been taken between the two of you was actually really, really needed for both of your own personal developments. It feels like there's still a lot of love here. Like, there was definitely feelings of love, of care, of compassion and concern for you. But I think that this was definitely tempered down in certain aspects. Like, perhaps this person was very much a codependent person in the past, and now when they saw you the last time, they realized that like the love is still there, but the need to be kind of attached was kind of gone. So I'm giving that example because I feel like it might be hurtful to hear that this person felt their feelings tempered down. But what I mean by that is that it felt like a healthy amount of feelings rather than something really extreme. And it feels like they had their aha moment too, where suddenly they realized that even though things perhaps didn't work out in the way in which they had hoped, or even though the timing was off, like perhaps in the past they had really wanted things to move very quickly, they were now realizing that this slowness, this steadiness, this patience that they were required to kind of hold for themselves or for this connection was something that really helped them grow and expand and become a really empowered person. I sense that there was a lot of gratitude here, like a lot of gratitude for you, a lot of gratitude for the journey they've been on because of you. And I think that for some of you, there was like definitely a desire to reconnect, like continue where the two of you left off. But I think that part will resonate for some of you more than others, because I think it's going to depend on each one of your own healing journeys. But the spark between the two of you, like the passion or the I would say like the passion between the two of you, there was still like a spark there, is what I would say. I think also there could have been like in the beginning, like a little bit of their defenses were up, but I think that this came down pretty quickly. Let's see if there's anything that I'm missing. Let's go ahead and get another deck out. Is there anything that I missed when it comes to how they were feeling? How was this person feeling? We have Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. We have Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And we have Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Yeah, okay, so with Judgment here, I would say like this kind of, I feel like these three cards tell like a linear story. And what I'm getting is that when the two of you first saw one another again, there was a feeling of, I think this person may have been projecting their own ideas of who you were or how this interaction was going to go about, and it kind of shocked them when it didn't go the way in which they had originally judged this interaction to go. And what they found was that there was still a lot of joy, like with the hyena here. This person thought you were like witty, charming, really like just really enjoyable to be around. And I feel like with this Humor card here, there was definitely an element of feeling happy when they saw you. I think that they were shocked to find out that they would feel these feelings for you still. And in this process, from going from realizing they're wrong to realizing that they feel happy, there was also a level of comfort. Like this person still felt comfortable in your presence. And also I think that this Trust card has to do with them realizing that the path that they're on and the path that they've been on was very much the right one for them, and very much the right one for you. I sense that this person was really happy for you, was really happy that things have gone the way they've gone for you. But that's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice before we close out this reading. What advice is there for pile 1? Okay, we have Ideal Partnership. I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I'm paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. Let's get one more. What advice is there for pile 1? Nope, I just want one, please. And okay. We have Ultimate Potential. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I ever have turned into anything else? I'm looking at you, Smooth Jazz and Talk Radio. So what these two cards are telling me, and obviously I think that it's important to take these messages how they resonate for you first and foremost, but a message that's coming through for me when it comes to these two cards is that it seems like the work that you've been doing and the goals that you've been reaching, the goals that you've been working for, are something that your guides are really honoring and celebrating, just seeing this in these two cards. And I think that it's going to be different for every single one of you, but I think that this is encouraging you, especially if this is some sort of romantic partnership or a former romantic partnership. I think that this is really encouraging you to really look at this connection and decide for yourself whether or not now that there's been time and space, whether or not now this connection could potentially match up to you at your fullest potential, or whether or not there's still more growing that needs to be done, or expansion that you feel is calling to you that might potentially be put on pause if this connection were to kind of come back into union. But obviously, take these how they resonate for you. I think that really like a big message that's coming through is to remember your worth and remember what it is that you deserve, as well as what it is that you want. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile one. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box of this video. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do post videos often, and I would love to have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hi pile 2. So today's pick a card reading is looking into what it is that your person felt the last time the two of you saw one another. And I have oracle cards here that are going to kind of give me more insight as to what was going on between the two of you. And I think that this will also help you decide whether or not this is actually your pile. If it is your pile, we'll also look into how they were seeing you. And we'll get tarot to see how they were feeling. We'll pull more oracles to see if I've missed anything, and then we'll get advice. If this doesn't resonate, if these first cards don't resonate, I would suggest looking at another pile. But there might not be a message for you in this video today, and that's okay too. I do have other videos on the last time you saw one another, so there might be a message for you there. Or another reader might have a different message for you that will resonate. So, to get started, when it comes to what was going on between the two of you, we have number 21, Wasteland. We have number 73, Restlessness. Restlessness. We also have Passion. And we have the Underworld. And then when it comes to how they were viewing you, we have the Fox, as well as Angel. The light attribute is helping those in need with no expectation in return. And the shadow attributes are acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Okay, so I'm getting a really specific message here. And from what I can tell, just based on how this person was viewing you, well, actually, no. I'm going to stop myself because I just realized something else. But I feel like initially, like the biggest feeling that I'm getting is that the last time the two of you saw one another, this person was not in a good headspace. It feels like there was a lot of emotional turmoil that this person was going through. This could be reversed, and it could be that you were in a lot of emotional turmoil. And I can honestly see it going both ways. But I feel like one of you expressed to the other kind of the pain that you were in, or kind of it feels depressive. Like this feels like a very stagnant, depressive energy. Perhaps feelings of like not really expanding or growing or getting to where it is that you need to be. And I sense that there was like almost a feeling with passion here. I feel like there may have almost been like a feeling of desperation, or a feeling of release in having spoken the truth. It feels like there was just a level of honesty here and a level of vulnerability here when it came to the two of you interacting with one another. And this vulnerability, I think, may have felt as though one of you was showing your ugly side to the other. But I think, like, what's most important here is that, like, these feelings are very human. And I think whoever was experiencing this was, like, perhaps being a little bit hard on themselves, or shaming themselves, that, like, in an unnecessary way, for having very human feelings and needs. Yeah, that's what I would say was going on. It feels like there was definitely, and it could also have been that there was, like, an argument between the two of you, and one of you kind of showed a side of yourself that you're not necessarily the proudest of. So that could also be indicated with these cards. So if that resonates, let's look at how they were seeing you. So either way, whether or not you were the person who was showing a side of yourself that you didn't necessarily want to show, or whether or not you were the person who was seeing this person be vulnerable and open and authentic about the reality of their feelings or the reality of their situation, they saw you as somebody, they saw you as someone very, very beautiful. And I'm not talking physically, although, like, you could be a very beautiful person. I'm talking more so about this person saw you for, like, on a soul level. They saw how beautiful your soul is. They saw what a kind and compassionate person you are, as well as what a good friend or a partner you are, depending on what kind of connection this is. The fox is the ideal kind of partner. The fox is a very loyal, very compassionate creature. And I sense that this person felt a sense of safety, or saw you as a safe person to either express this to, or saw you as somebody who felt safe enough to open up to them. But I do feel like for a lot of you, this has more so to do with them having expressed their feelings to you, or their struggles to you, simply because the angels here, with the light attribute being helping those in need with no expectation in return, I feel like they saw you as somebody who was extending a hand to them out of pure love, like, not with the expectation of them having to be loyal to you or having to do the same in return if this were ever to happen to you. They saw you as somebody who was just seeing a person in need and wanting to show them that they were deserving of compassion and kindness and respect, and worthy and deserving of perhaps even just like an ear for them to be heard. Either way, I would say that this person, regardless of what the situation is entirely, like who was who in this situation, it feels very strongly that this person was viewing you in a very, very high regard. So let's go ahead and look into how they were feeling. How did pile 2's person feel the last time they saw pile 2? Okay, so we have the Hanged Man. We have the 4 of Pentacles. We have Judgment. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the 8 of Cups. Why is the Hanged Man here? Okay, we have the 2 of Wands. Why is the 4 of Pentacles here? We have the Seven of Wands. Why is Judgment here? We have the Devil. Why is the Knight of Wands here? Okay, we have the Ten of Wands and the King of Cups. And why is the Eight of Cups here? We have the Eight of Wands. Okay, and then on the back of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so how is this person feeling? For the Hanged Man to be here, as well as the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, I feel like they really did feel stuck in some sort of way, or they felt as though they didn't really have a whole lot of power, as well as they felt as though they, sorry, I think my neighbor is walking by and Joplin is barking. Joplin! I'm gonna have to pause this. Okay, sorry about that. So I feel like they felt like there was like a need to self-protect, and a need to defend themselves in some sort of way. And it might not have been because there was like an argument going on between the two of you, but it was more like a fear of abandonment. Like I get the feeling with the Eight of Wands here that they felt as though if they were to communicate something to you, there was going to be an abandonment of some kind, or the truth of how they were feeling was going to cause you to step away from them. And I think that this need to express themselves, or this need to be honest with themselves about how bad they were feeling, was making them realize like there was a calling. They felt called to be honest, to be forthright, to be true to themselves, because hiding who they are it felt like they were in chains. And I think that like during this interaction, they felt as though they had released the burden of whatever it was that they had been carrying. And in doing so, it's like their heart space opened. And I think that they felt truly loved and accepted, and perhaps even forgiven if there was an argument of some kind. They felt loved, accepted, seen, heard, and forgiven. Let's go ahead, and it's very clear. This is a very clear message, so there's not much else I can say. I kind of wonder, for like, this is a really specific message, and this, you'll know if this is your message, but I kind of wonder if like this person was expressing their like sexual desires or sexual fantasies. And there was like fear here of like being rejected. But I think that's like a really specific message. Okay. What have I missed? What have I missed when it comes to how this person was feeling? Okay, we have success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. We have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Interesting. This envy card is kind of throwing me off. This could be that, it could be that there was a feeling, like one of the icky feelings that they were feeling could have been a feeling of jealousy or a feeling of being threatened when it came to this connection in some sort of way. It could also be a message of them really admiring you and really wishing that they could be more like you. But I think the biggest message that's coming through is that this person simply felt as though after this interaction occurred, they were at peace. Like they had found peace. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Let's go ahead and get you guys an affirmation or advice, I mean, before we close this reading out. What advice? Oh my goodness. What advice is there for pile 2? What advice do pile 2's guides have? We have nature. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside of that man-made box. Take a walk in the woods, smell those flowers, hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggery and stuff. But you'll find that even then, those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humor. If that doesn't make you want to hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. What guidance is there for pile 2? Okay. We have 2 cards that came out. We have Story of My Life. As I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make it the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn that Pulitzer Prize for Best Inner Monologue. And we have Everyone's a Teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part in making me a better person. So I think like these cards, obviously take them how they resonate for you. If this was some sort of interaction that ended in a separation of some kind, even if it was like amicable or a peaceful type of separation, I think that these cards are really encouraging you to reconnect in whatever way that means to you with Source, but also is encouraging you to kind of look at different perspectives when it comes to this connection. Not that there isn't truth in your perspective, but I think that it might provide some peace. But obviously, these cards can all be taken at face value as well. So listen to your own judgment first and foremost. But pile 2, that's what I'm seeing for you guys today. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box of this video. I also have an Amazon wish list with different decks that I would like to have for my channel. And right now I'm offering 1-question readings, video recorded readings, to those who send a deck in. And 1-question readings in my Etsy shop cost more than what's on my wish list, so check that out if you're interested as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing so that I will have the opportunity to read for you in more videos soon. Bye! Hi Pile 3. So today's pick a card reading is looking into what it is that your person felt the last time that the two of you saw one another. And how we're going to do this is I have oracles here to kind of look into what was going on between the two of you the last time you saw one another, just so that we will have I'll have a better understanding, I guess, of what was going on, and you'll know whether or not this is your pile. If these cards resonate, we'll then look into how this person was viewing you. If it doesn't resonate, I would suggest looking into another pile, or there might not be a message here for you today. I do have other pick a card readings that look into what they felt the last time you saw one another, so that might be an option for you, or there just might not be a message here for you today. But with that being said, we have number 13, hope. We have reflection. Number 14, the all-knower, and the king. Okay. So when it comes to, well, actually, let's flip these over too. And then how they were viewing you, we have Mother. The light attributes are nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And the shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And we have Bat. Okay, so I feel like the last time the two of you saw one another was in, this is really specific. Oh my goodness. Very specific. It might, and I'm gonna try to do my best to be very clear, concise when it comes to what I'm seeing. But I would say that for a lot of you, the last time the two of you saw one another happened in like a place of worship, perhaps. Like a church, a mosque, a temple, something of that regard. Or the two of you were doing something in order to connect or deepen your connection to Source. Whether or not that was being in nature together or perhaps doing yoga together. However it resonates to you when it comes to your connection with the universe, I feel as though this was something spiritual. It could also be that this was something that happened in a dream, but I think that for a lot of you, this has more so to do with connecting to a higher power. So if that resonates, I think also one more thing that I'm picking up on is that this could have been an attempt to seek comfort. In comfort or wisdom, clarity, an understanding. I feel as though there may have been knowledge or wisdom or peace being sought for some of you in this interaction. So if that resonates, let's look at how they were seeing you. And I get the feeling that they were seeing you as somebody who was probably already very connected to your highest self, to your own spiritual practices. It seems like they were viewing you as somebody who was very grounded and also very much in a state of acceptance for whatever was going on during this last time. Like it seems like you were somebody that they were almost looking to for a sense of peace or a sense of stability within themselves. Like they were viewing you as somebody who is capable of being present in all of life's ups and downs. And it could be that you were having to let go of something here with the bat, or there was definitely a need for acceptance here. And they saw you doing this in a very beautiful and in a very graceful way, is what I would say. And I know that this is very specific, but that's the message coming through. So let's go ahead and look into what it is that they felt the last time they saw you. What is it that pile 3's person felt the last time they saw pile 3? Okay, so we have the Magician. What did pile 3's person feel? We have the Queen of Wands. We have the King of Wands. The King and the Queen and the Magician all came out for pile 1 too. So there might be a message for you there as well. Let's see. Okay. We have the Chariot as well as the 9 of Pentacles. Why is the Magician here? We have the Ace of Swords. Why is the Queen of Wands here? We have the Page of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords. Why is the King of Wands here? We have the Seven of Pentacles, which also came out for pile 1. Why is the Chariot here? The Eight of Cups. And why is the, okay. And we have the Moon. And on the back of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. Okay. So what were they feeling? This is complex and very interesting. One thing that I'm noticing is that there's only one Cups card. I feel like the biggest feeling, it's very strange, but I feel like the biggest feeling that this person was experiencing was fear. And it almost feels like it was like fear of themselves, fear of looking at their own power. Like, I think they felt empowered and capable and strong, and I think there was a moment of clarity that this person had where they realized that they have much more power and perhaps even like talent within themselves that they kind of fear. And it could be because they don't necessarily want to let themselves down or let others down if the potential that they see within themselves like there's self-doubt here. I think that this person woke up to something, had a download or a realization of some kind, and I think that this was a truth that they had been avoiding for a while, or a realization that they had been avoiding for a while, and it came at them head on. And in this happening, there became an understanding of the work that needs to be done, of the practice that needs to be kind of fulfilled. This is so, I wish I had a greater understanding. I'm just looking at these cards and this is what I'm seeing, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I feel like this person either had like a spiritual awakening of some kind or an awakening within themselves of their own power, and it kind of spooked them. And while there was this realization that they have all of these wonderful qualities, or while there was this realization that they have much more of a say in their life than what perhaps they would like, there was also an element of wanting to go back into the dark about it, because now with this knowledge they know the work that needs to be done and they can't simply forget about it. And even though they know what needs to be done, there's this element of feeling like they're not good enough or not ready, or like they're not going to be, it's not going to come easy for them. It's very strange. And I think for a lot of you with the King and the Queen here, there was also this feeling of realizing that the two of you are really good for one another, or very compatible. But I think that this also kind of scares them. And I think that they see you with the Mother and the Bat here, they see you as somebody who kind of takes life on for what it is and like enjoys being fully present in this life and fully present in the journey that you're on. And this person seems to be somebody who wants to avoid being present. Very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and pull some. I'm sorry, that it feels so cryptic to me. What I'm seeing feels cryptic to me. And so if you feel like sharing what was going on in the comments, I would love to hear what this is about. But let's go ahead and see if I can get any clarity. What have I missed? Okay, yeah, we have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Yeah, like I feel like they realized their gifts, and while this really boosted their self-esteem, immediately afterwards there was this overwhelming amount of self-doubt. We have relationships. I'm attracted to those who serve my higher good, and that's coming out over the king and the queen. I think that one aspect that I'm picking up on is that perhaps they felt as though this is a connection that's really good for them, and also like perhaps even meant to be. And I think they realize that this connection is worth stepping up to the plate. But it scares them. It scares the idea of not being enough or not doing well enough, kind of scares them. One more, please. Doubt. Yep, there it is. The self-doubt. I release all the need to know the answers. Yeah. And then on the back of the deck, fear. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing somebody who seems like they have, it's like once you've woken up you can't go back to sleep, and it feels like this person would really like to go back to sleep. But they can't. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice. What advice is there for pile 3? We have self-love. I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love any way that I can, and when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm going to make myself sleep on the couch. Got that, self? What advice is there for pile 3? And we have peacefulness. I have a peaceful, tranquil, and untroubled heart. This is where I choose to spend my time. I can bring guests, but any person, thought, or event that brings drama or chaos is not invited. My heart is a special property, and I'm going to keep it that way so we can all keep enjoying it and I can get my security deposit back. So from what I'm seeing, and obviously please take these advice cards first and foremost how they resonate for you. And if this message doesn't resonate, what I'm about to say, then it's not a message for you. But from what I'm seeing, it feels like what these cards are encouraging you to ask yourself is whether or not this person is capable of providing you peace given where they're at in their journey currently. I feel kind of like this message, this underlying message with self-love, of perhaps needing to be honest with yourself about whether or not this person can provide you what it is that you need, or whether or not you should be focusing on kind of providing what it is that you need for yourself, because this person seems to be somebody who's still working a lot on their own self-esteem. But obviously take those messages how they resonate for you first and foremost. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile 3. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box of this video. I also have an Amazon wish list up and running, filled with different decks that I would like to have for this channel. And if you purchase one of the decks, I'm offering one question video recorded readings for that. And the decks that are on there are much less expensive than the one question readings that are being sold on my Etsy shop currently. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And please consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed already. I would be honored to have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, Pile 4. So today's pick a card reading is a what were they feeling the last time they saw you reading. And for this, I have oracles to kind of show us what was going on between the two of you the last time you saw one another, kind of to give me a better understanding of what was happening, and also to help you decide whether or not this is in fact your pile. If this doesn't resonate, there might be a message for you in a different pile. I also have other readings on this particular topic, so you might want to check those out if nothing resonates. But it is okay if there's not a message here for you today. If these cards resonate, we'll also look into how this person was currently viewing you when they saw you last. We'll pull tarot to see what they were feeling, and we'll also get oracles to try to clarify or see if I missed anything. So to start, we have number 52, abstract. We also have 34, pink bubble fairy. Number 11, good things. Creativity, sadness. Let's move these over. And we have the siren. And in terms of how they were viewing you, we have the eagle as well as the mentor. The light attribute is passing on wisdom and refining a student's character, and the shadow attributes are inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. Okay, so I feel like there's definitely, like the last time you two saw one another, I feel like there was definitely like an art involved here of some kind. With the siren, I feel as though there was this deepening or strengthening of emotions. But what I'm getting is that, like, from what I'm seeing from these cards, I feel like the two of you were like at a concert together or at some sort of festival or an art gallery, an art show, perhaps like a poetry slam. Or the two of you were learning something together. Especially with the mentor here, I feel like this could have been a class that you took. This could have been a dream with abstract here. This could have been, this really could have been a dream in which the two of you met in that regard and expressed the feelings that the two of you shared, one of which is sadness or longing. But I think for like the majority of you here, this last interaction seems to be one where there was a creative process of some kind and a deepening of your own understanding of self as well as your understanding of your emotional world. I know that's vague, but these cards are really vague. I also could see that perhaps you went swimming. Like if we're looking at things very literally, you could have gone swimming the last time the two of you saw one another. But I sense that there was either a creative medium here or a class of some kind, a deepening of an understanding. Take that how it resonates for you. Please share, because that's really all I'm seeing. It's kind of vague. It could also be that the two of you were meditating or talking about the future, like going in depth about the future and what the future with the two of you looks like. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. If that resonates, let's go ahead and look at how they were viewing you. They're viewing you very beautifully. I think that they definitely, like if this was a class environment, they're definitely viewing you as somebody who had a lot to offer. It doesn't even have to be a class environment. I feel like the last time the two of you saw one another, you struck them as somebody very profound. There was a lesson that you shared, whether or not you were intending on this or not, that really struck a chord with them, that really stood out to them. I think that they were really looking up to you and also looking for guidance from you. And it may be something that you completely miss, like perhaps it's the other way around where this person seems to be more of a mentor. But from what I'm seeing, this person views you as somebody that they have a lot to learn from. And not only that, but with the eagle here, I would say that they really saw your inner light. Like you were shining, you were free. I would say there was like a sense of empowerment here, a sense of perhaps freeing yourself from karmic ties. They saw you as somebody who others were drawn to. Like your light was very vibrant, and it was kind of emanating or radiating off of you. So that's what I'm seeing. So if that has all resonated, as the the pile before you was very cryptic and vague as well. I hope that the feelings are clearer than what we've just seen here. And it might make it, I hope it makes sense to you, because that's what I'm seeing. Okay. How did pile 4's person feel the last time they saw pile 4? Okay, we have the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Swords. What are they feeling the last time they saw pile 4? We have Temperance. We have the Emperor. The 6 of Pentacles. Why is the 6 of Wands here? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, why is the Queen of Swords here? We have the Ace of Cups. Why is Temperance here? We have the High Priestess. Why is the Emperor here? Okay. We have the 4 of Swords. And why is the 5 of Pentacles here? We have the Hierophant. Okay, and then on the back of the deck we have the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So, I would say that the first thing that's standing out to me is this 5 of Pentacles and the Hierophant. I feel like the last time the two of you saw one another, this person's perspective or this person's opinions or beliefs or thought patterns or perspectives changed. Like they ended up, like I get the feeling that this person with the Hierophant here, this is an energy of like doing things the right way or doing things how they've always been done. And I sense this feeling of rejecting the status quo or normalcy. Like I feel like their belief system or their perspective, perhaps even on relationships, changed. I feel like they felt more open-minded. That's a good way of saying it. This person felt more open-minded. I kind of feel, and I know in another reading that was kind of like this, I don't remember when it was, I felt like there was a group of people who perhaps were tripping together, and I kind of feel like this might be what was going on in this interaction as well for some of you. But I think that another thing that's coming through is that this person felt relaxed, like they could put their guard down. They didn't have to be worried about how others viewed them or about how people, like, I feel like maybe this person is somebody who typically is really concerned about how they look or how they're perceived, and I feel like they felt like they could take a breath and really step back from that for a while. There's just this element of like feeling like they didn't have to have it all together, or like the weight of the world on their shoulders, or they didn't have to be the responsible one, is kind of something that's coming through. And I think that they felt, not only did they see you as this mentor, but like I feel like they also gained a lot of wisdom from you, like really, really powerful wisdom from you. Like, and I don't know if you are aware of it or not. Like with the High Priestess here, this is kind of like intuitive type of energy, so it might be something that they picked up on without you intending it, but it feels like there was a lot of knowledge gained from this last interaction, and perhaps even healing. It feels very calm. Like the feelings that I'm getting are very soothing and calm. There was also a great deal of, we have the Ace of Cups, we also have sadness, and we have the Siren. There was a great deal of emotional overload here. Like, I think this person came to an understanding of their feelings for you, as perhaps even their feelings just in their own emotional world. Like, I think that they may have been maybe even out of touch with their own heart center for a while, and I feel like it was kind of reawakened. Overall, with the Six of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, there's a lot of really good feelings here. Like, I feel like a sigh of relief, a sense of like being able to relax, a sense of feeling safe, a sense of being able to open up their mind and explore their thoughts, open up their heart space and explore their feelings, and also a sense of kind of like success or empowerment in whatever transpired between the two of you. Like, this person feels very happy and I would say sure of themselves. It's a good feeling. Everything that they're feeling here is really good. I sense that they probably really enjoy being in your presence. But let's go ahead and get some oracles to see if there's anything that I missed. What have I missed when it comes to how this person was feeling? We have Judgment. Yeah, I think that their eyes were opened. Their perspective was changed profoundly in this last interaction. And it could be like their perspective on this connection changed into something more emotional. Let's keep going. What is it that they were feeling? Yep, there it is. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. There's so much here indicating that this person felt warm, happy, loved. Maybe felt more understanding of themselves. It's a very, very beautiful energy. Let's go ahead and get some advice before we close this reading out. Okay. What advice is there for pile 4 when it comes to this connection? Okay, so we have ultimate potential. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I have ever turned to anything else? I'm looking at you, smooth jazz and talk radio. And we have options. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I am reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiness without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. I think that this message is a message encouraging you to really get crazy when it comes to exploring what it is that you want, and knowing that what it is that you want is out there, and it could be with this person, it could have nothing to do with like relationships. I think that this is just encouraging you to continue kind of on the path that you already seem to be on, based on just the 2 cards that I've seen here. But obviously take those how they resonate for you. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys today, pile 4. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box of this video. I also have an Amazon wish list up and running right now with different decks and items that I think would really be good for this channel. So if you purchase one of those, I'm offering 1 question video recorded readings for like an exchange for that, and it's less expensive than purchasing a reading in my shop. So if you're curious about that, please feel free to check that out as well. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel so that I will have the opportunity to read for you in another video soon. Bye, pile 4.